In this video, I will show you how to integrate Buildpacks into your Argo workflow. So why would you want to do this? One of the main advantages of Buildpacks is that it can turn application code into a runnable OCI application image without needing to write a Dockerfile. So while Dockerfiles can be fun to write, they can get quite complicated if you have performance and security in mind. For developers who may not have the knowledge or the time to do that, it might be something they don't want to do or they won't do well. Perhaps they will copy-paste another Dockerfile from a former project, which is really not ideal. So by integrating Buildpacks into Argo, you completely remove this step, improving the developer experience. Once they are done writing their application code, they can just push this to your Git repo and Argo will take care of the rest. So now, a little bit more about Buildpacks. The technology has been around for more than 10 years. It's a quite stable technology. It's actually an incubating project as part of the CNCF landscape. And now one of the main components of Buildpacks is the builder. That's something you need to know. So a builder is basically a container image that contains a collection of Buildpacks, which are in charge of analyzing the source code, detecting which dependency it's using, and setting up the runtime environment. It also contains a base image, which is basically the operating system image that's going to be used for the final container image that's going to be exported. It also contains lifecycle components, which will basically orchestrate the process of turning your application code into this image. So now you can create your own builder, but really the idea here is to use builders that are provided by trusted providers. There are three main providers. The first one is Google. There is also Heroku and Paketo Buildpacks, which I'm going to use in this tutorial. So for this tutorial, I'm using a simple Python app. Here it is, and yeah, maybe I can run. I will run one of this image for you. So the last version that I have is 0.0.6. And I'm running this on port 5003. So let's see, let's query that. And as you can see, here it is. All right. So now let's jump into the Argo part. So the way I did that is that I integrated this into an Argo workflow. So my Argo workflow is made of two steps. The first step is to clone my code. Here it is. And the second one is to build the image. So obviously the most interesting part is to build the image because we are going to use Buildpacks to do that. Now I'm not going to go over the tag part. I'm going to go back to this later in the video. Let's jump into the Buildpacks, really the core part. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to use the pack image from the buildpacks.io repo. And now Buildpacks are specification. So if you want to use its specifications, you will need to use the pack command. I actually encourage you to download it on your local machine and play with it to see what you can do with it, you know, the different options and different things it can do. But here we are gonna tell it to build an image. So that's why the command is pack build. Now let's look at the arguments. Let's go through each of them. So the first one, basically the first part, I specify to which image registry to push the image to. So here, as I said, it's a Docker registry that I install locally in my machine. and I'm gonna name my image my Python app. Now the path argument is to tell where is your application code. The builder, I already explained what's a builder in the intro. So here I'm using a Paketo Buildpacks one, but again, you can use one from Google or from Heroku. And finally, the last flag is publish. And what it does is that I tell Pag that when the image is created, that it's pushed to the registry that I specified here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I will change my application so that we can see a change. So I will change to hello world. All right. I'm gonna commit this change. I will web app change. I will tag this. So now I think I'm on version 0.0.8. And I'm gonna push all of this to my repo. All right. So now that everything has been pushed, I will run my workflow. Argo submit and my workflow. Now I want to monitor what's happening with this workflow. So we will look at the logs. Here it is. So it cloned, and now Buildpacks will Pack will start to build the image. So while this is happening, I want to briefly speak about something which is when with Buildpacks, one feature is that it can create immutable images. And so it means that images need to be exactly identical, which is why when an image is created, the timestamp of creation is always going to be the same. So I will show you what I mean here. If I look on my local Docker daemon, we can see that I have an image here, my Python app that was created 44 years ago. Obviously, Docker was not around, container images were not around 44 years ago, but you get the idea, right? Like every time you will create an image by using Buildpacks, it will be at the same time. The creation time will be always the same. So why I'm sharing this information? If you are relying on the latest tag for your deployment, if you want to look for like the latest image in your registry, that you will run into issues, right? So that's why it's important to know that. In my example, I'm using tags. And so what I'm doing is that I won't go too much into detail, but basically I gather the tag, I store this into a file, and then you have parameters that you can pass between steps with Argo. And so in my build image, you can see I have an input parameter with a path tag, and this tag is being used here. I specify when I build my image, I create the image with this specific tag. So anyway, I won't go more. I think you got the idea, but it's important to know this piece. When I first used Buildpacks, I was like surprised, like why are the images created 44 years ago? It's kind of weird.
So here, Pack did this job. You can see it successfully created the image. So we are going to try to run it. So it's 0.0.8. Here it is. And now let's try to curl that. Here we are. So yeah, I hope you like the demonstration. All of the code is in my GitHub repository. I'm gonna paste that in the description. Again, it's a great way for a company to improve the developer experience even further and remove what sometimes might be an issue. Dockerfile might be a headache, especially if you have a lot of applications and you need to manage all these Docker files. It can be quite a bit of work. Thank you for watching and see you next time.